This is the Faders Up Podcast.
Welcome to the Faders Up Podcast. I'm Czar.
It's your boy O'Shea.
And this is a podcast about pro audio and beyond. If you got a question you want answered on the podcast, you can reach us at fadersuppodcast@yahoo.com or reach us on our Instagram page, Faders Up Podcast. And you can join the discussion for this episode and more on our Facebook group, Faders Up Podcast. And don't forget to rate and review us on Spotify and Apple Music. And all guests and hosts that appear on the show will be in the show notes. All right, so we're back with episode 3. And this episode, we're going to be talking with Dalona with her Love and Delusion's release of her latest EP, just kind of getting some insight on just what all went into that. Well, welcome, Dalona.
Welcome, y'all. It's good to be here.
And I just want to talk about how we met. So I know we met, I guess maybe 3 years ago.
Yeah.
At one of Music Queen's infamous network mixers. That's always fun.
Yeah, it's been about 2 years, I feel like, since we met. Time flies when you're having fun, so it's been about 2 years.
It really does. I think she normally does where at the time was doing like 2 of them a year, I think, at least.
Yeah, I hope she brings it back.
Yeah, definitely, because it's really nothing like that in the city, for sure. Oh, so what was the last one you went to?
Man, it's been a minute. It might have been the one at ASCAP when Money Long was there before she started going by the name Money Long.
Lost me with Money Long. Wait a minute.
You don't know the R&B singer Money Long? She was a songwriter before got mad, #1 hit. She co-wrote Timber with I think that's Kesha. And,
Okay.
She ran a lot of joint. But yeah, I saw her and I remembered her from the ASCAP conference in LA, like maybe the year before that. So I'm like, yo, what's up? Like nobody even recognized her because at that point she wasn't moving as an artist. So she was just like mingling with everybody else, very incognito.
Gotcha. And Dalona, I know we always joke about who's got whose sloppy seconds with traveling. Is you'd either go to a city I just came from, or I'd be going to a city that you just came from.
I just got back from Detroit, so what you got?
Nah, Detroit's not on my list.
Can you explain that really quick to folks? Because people are like probably wondering like what that means.
It sounded kind of awkward too. So go ahead and clean that up for the listeners, please.
Yeah, it was just joking. You went to, it was New Orleans. You went to New Orleans, and I went to New Orleans shortly after you. And then I think you were in New York after I was, I think.
Yeah, it was like a stretch where literally every city that I would go to, like I'll post about it, whatever. And then he would DM me like, okay, I'm going there next week. Or like, I just missed you. I just landed today. And I'm like, oh, sorry. Like, I'm not trying to be avoidant. we just have we're moving in different speeds.
Yeah, it's just funny. Yeah, I think LA was another one of them.
Yes, it was.
Too. Because I got what you got coming up?
Oof. Well, I'm gonna go to my first NASCAR race next month, which I think is cool.
Okay.
Yeah, honestly, me and my friends, we just be doing shit. So I'm like, NASCAR, yeah, whatever, cool. Roots Picnic Festival in Philly. I've never been to Philly, so that's gonna be cool.
Hey,
Atlanta, Chicago in May. Nothing
I just came
in June.
back from Chicago.
Okay, so I'll be in Chicago in May. I'll be in Chicago again in June.
I'm going back to Chicago too.
So we're gonna have to stop. We're gonna have to like be more intentional with like the cities that we're in.
Yeah, I've got. Let me see.
It's getting ridiculous.
Let's see, I'm going to San Diego next month, and then after that, DC. Well, repositioning in DC because I'm going to Madrid and then the Canary Islands, and then coming back into DC. Then Providence, Rhode Island, and then I think Chicago again, and then I'm probably saying this wrong. Puerto Vallarta in Mexico.
Yeah, that was country as hell, but it's okay.
No, I'm probably butchering that because every time I watch like YouTube videos of what they're to do there, and it's like, yeah, that's not how I say it.
That's not how they say it either. It's just you. No, I'm just kidding.
Guess I gotta roll my tongue.
Try something. Do something.
Bararta.
Okay, we can practice that offline.
Yeah, that's always been a funny running joke with us for sure.
Yeah. One day we're gonna be in the same city at the same time, and
Right.
you're gonna text me like, "Are you here, nigga? Are you here?" I'm gonna say, "Yes. Let's go get some food."
It's like my guy from New York. Where were we? Oh, we was in Indianapolis for the Circle City Classic, and I think it's like twice he's hit me up, and he's like, "Yo, I'm in Indianapolis, yo," and I'm like, "Man, I'm already here. Where you at?" I ran into him in the Atlanta airport. He was like, "Sorry, yo." He's like, "Where you going, yo?" I'm like, "I'm headed to Tampa." Word, me too.
And the Atlanta airport is like a city in itself, so that's rare
Right.
that you actually ran into someone
Right.
in the Atlanta
For
airport.
sure.
That has never happened to me.
Exactly. All right, we're gonna get into our normal segment of Who's Been Pushing Faders Up, where we just briefly discuss what we've been working on recently. O'Shea, how you been pushing faders up?
Man, similar to last time, man, just being real intentional about growing the DJ Lyric brand. So since we last recorded, I think I've booked like another 3 or 4 weddings, so I'm super excited about that. My winter 2025 pricing has ended, so yesterday's price is not today's price, so I'm working on that. And really just digging in, really starting to explore TrackLib. So for our listeners, if you're not familiar, TrackLib is kind of like a combination of Splice and the experience of crate digging in a record store. So it has a subscription-based model, but it's not like royalty-free samples, like loot packs. These are actual records, like from artists. That's super dope, and it's cool because they tell you up front. They really should be paying me for this, but they tell you up front how much it's going to cost to clear the samples. So they have 3 different license tiers. So, there's no guesswork or, it's just a one-stop shop. So I've been digging into that more because I've been paying for it for 2 years and haven't really been in producer mode, but I'm getting back into my bag. So been enjoying that.
What's like the rate on some of those and clearing the samples? Because that's enough to make me not want to sample.
Nah, so the subscription, I think I do $50 a year for the clearance fees. I think on the low end it might be like a couple hundred. On a high end might be like a couple thousand. Like, but some of the records they had, like I said, from real artists. So they got like Bob, what's his name? Nautilus by Bob. I forget his name, but it's been sampled on a lot of hip hop records. I mean, they got why am I forgetting his name? Curtis Mayfield records. Like, it's legitimate like records, not like just throwaway garbage.
So then the fees, how do you pay that once you use the sample? I guess I'm understanding you pay it through TrackLib, or you pay TrackLib.
Don't get me to lying on the podcast because I don't want to misrepresent them. So I'm just getting back into it, like just digging through the samples. I haven't actually produced anything with it that I've released where I would need to go through the license process. So I'm not sure, but I could probably find out. We can talk about it next episode for sure.
I'm just curious. It kind of, I've never been a sampler, but I just kind of feel like it's a mood killer as an artist where you get a sample, you get a song, you write it, you record it, you get ready to release it, and it's like, hold up, we got to clear this sample. And who knows how long that's going to take.
That's not the mood killer. The mood killer is when you want to go clear and you get denied. And
That
then
too,
you have to go back and recreate it. But with TrackLib, that's not an issue because everything has already been quote unquote pre-cleared, right? So it's like there is no they're gonna deny it or charge this, crazy fee. It's like it's already been pre-approved and based on the song, which really I think is based on how popular the song is what's gonna make it a license A, B, or C level.
Gotcha. Okay.
So yeah, man, just enjoying that. I'm be inviting you back out to Belmont soon. So my hip hop production class, we're getting ready to have another final showcase. With your 10 jobs, I don't know if you can make it, but it'll be on a Monday or a Tuesday night.
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. So cool. Good stuff, man. Well, how have you been pushing faders up?
Who?
Oh, my fault. Czar. I mean, you was the last person I was talking to, man. That was Dalona, you knew I was talking to Czar, right?
Is Czar in the room with us right now?
Yes, Mr. Czar. How have you been pushing faders up?
I've been, as usual, reviewing a lot of plugins. Hit Factory, Hit Verb. I just reviewed that, which is a reverb plugin that models 12 rooms over 6 different Hit Factory studios, which is really cool. Noise Hub, C series and D series. I just got through reviewing that. Don't know exactly when this episode is going to come out, so I can't say anything about it now, but I will say that this new plugin that Waves is about to come out with is one of the best I've seen for what it does. It's pretty ridiculous. So I can't wait for everybody to see that. What else? Oh, I think I did talk about the Triton Audio stuff I did. IK Multimedia. I'm about to do some stuff with them with the iLoud Pro monitors, and they've got a new mastering EQ plugin that I'm gonna have some content out on soon. And I think that's about it. Yeah, I'm gonna say that's probably about it that I can think of off the top of my head here. But what about you, Dalona? How you been pushing faders up?
I mean, I've been shopping it around. I've been on these streets, all of that and the above. So, just +1 to everything y'all been doing.
All right, so my fault. So for our listeners who may or may not be familiar with you yet, when you say shopping it around and been out here in these streets, like what do you mean by that?
I mean, I heard about the podcast and I was like, this sounds amazing. And telling my studio-esque friends about it. I mean, I'm an artist, not necessarily an engineer or a producer. So some of the language is beep boop to me. But I admire the hell out of it. And I think what you guys are doing is incredible. And to see like Black men doing this, I think is really important. The representation is important. So it took a little serious twist, but I really am proud of y'all. So
hey, we appreciate it. We appreciate it. Man, I should have asked this question when Czar was talking about how y'all met. So I know y'all met here in Nashville. Where you originally from, and kind of, if you're not from here, kind of what's your Nashville story that led to you being here?
So I think I'm a boomerang. Someone told me that years ago, and I can't even remember who told me that, but I just said, oh, okay, and just took it. So my parents went to Tennessee State University. So I was born here, north side of Nashville, Hyman Street, okay? Like I'm true to it.
I already know what you're talking about.
However, I grew up in Michigan. So Grand Rapids, Michigan to be exact. So like the Detroit sound was heavily influential for me. Grew up in church. I'm a PK, I'm a preacher's kid. Yeah. So, and yes, I'm in therapy still. Yeah. Yeah. And then after undergrad, moved back to Nashville. It was the only place I ever lived. And so I've been back for the past 6 years. So that's kind of my short and sweet Nashville story. Born here, didn't really grow up here, but moved back. because I really like it.
Word.
So.
That's what's up. Well, we're glad to have you.
Thank you.
That makes me feel like I might be a boomerang too. Then.
Yeah, probably.
I was born in Nashville, but we weren't living in Nashville. My dad was stationed in Clarksville, but yeah, I was born in Nashville, and then my dad being in the Army at Virginia, Germany, Louisiana. Then when he got out to military, we moved to Memphis. So I spent most of my teenage years in Memphis, and then moved here because I thought I was going to go to SAE, but that's a whole nother story.
In Memphis is the city you claim, right? When you meet somebody and they say, "Where you from?" You say Memphis.
Yeah, just because I've lived in Memphis longer than anywhere else.
Gotcha.
Everywhere else has been 3 years and out. So, from what 7th grade on was Memphis. So yeah, I claim Memphis.
Okay, that's what's up.
Love that.
All right, we're gonna get to a listener question from Dominic Williams 33 from YouTube. It says, recently I've been going through a stage of just going through mic preamps. I was running a Universal Audio 710. Then I switched to a Grace M101, both which I still have, but I think I found my grail of mic preamps. I've always been looking for a clean mic preamp that adds a touch of color, and I found it. It's the Lakeside by Soyuz, and it's phenomenal. My question is, what are your favorite preamps and why? Oh, what are your favorite preamps and why? And also, why did everyone move away from the Avalon 737 when there was nothing wrong with it and a lot of hits were made off of it? Okay, well, I will start with the latter. Why did everybody move away from the 737? I think mainly because it's expensive. I don't know, 15 years ago, you can get a used 737 for like $1,500, even $1,200. I've seen some that low, but now they're like $4,000 brand new, and there's just so many other preamps, good preamps to me that you can get besides that at 737. They're also heavy as hell too. Because I looked at getting a 737 at one point when I was bouncing around from studio to studio, and that thing's like 50 pounds. So nothing wrong with the 737, but I think that's why. I think the price, and I don't know, Avalon hasn't came out with anything new recently, which at NAMM they did announce their gold anniversary version of the 737, but it's still the same 737 we've had for 25 years or however long they've been doing them. So that's that. The Lakeside Soyuz, I saw it and then actually forgot about it. I have not heard it, but some of my favorite mic preamps. So in the studio, the three I gravitate to the most is the Mic Tech MPA 201, Empirical Labs Mic E, which was something that's clean with a little bit of color. Mic E is clean. You can add saturation to it. And then the Phoenix Audio Ascent is another one I really like. That's on that clean with a little bit of color. And Black Lion Auteur Mach 3 as well is another one as well. So, yeah, like Dominic, I do like preamps that are clean with a little bit of color. But those are three that I go to the most. Also, I'm going to throw the Neve 511 in there as well, too, if you're into the 500 series. You have any favorite preamps, O'Shea? I know you like the API.
Yeah, I mean, so first, I don't use like external hardware preamps. So I'm still running my Universal Audio Apollo Twin. In terms of the Unison preamp plugins, like Zara said, I love the API 512. And that's because that was like the first plugin where I could actually reference the hardware, because I'm very familiar with the hardware version of it. And I was like, yes, I like this. Ironically, I'm not using it right now, and that's only because I didn't realize it wasn't on. So if you like the sound, this is just the default preamp in the Universal Audio Apollo Twin.
Gotcha. All right. We're going to move to our main topic here, where we're going to discuss with Dalona I said some insight into her new EP, Love and Delusions. And so, Dalona, we'll start with what motivated you to release your first EP?
Yeah, well, I have two out. So I think what motivated me to release my first one was, I'm gonna be real, like I was just tired of denying and sleeping on my potential. Like, I love music and singing as much as I love breathing. And I was just tired of denying myself that and making up all the excuses as to like why it's not realistic and why I can't and what were the challenges. And I just kind of bet on myself. And so that kind of rolled into, Love and Delusion, and my second EP that I released in January of this year. It was like a birthday gift to myself because I'm January 2nd, I'm a Capricorn. So yeah, I think it was really just me being fed up with myself of all the excuses I was making as to why I couldn't put myself out there and share my talent with the world. So
yeah. So Love and Delusion was the first one.
Second, yeah. Burning
Second
Girls
one.
is my first EP.
Gotcha.
And Love and
Okay.
Delusion is my second, yeah.
Gotcha. How long? What was the time between those?
Ooh, about a year and some change. I
Okay.
think the biggest difference, obviously, between like Burning Journals is it was my first body of work ever. So I was learning a lot, and I was like riding on the learning curve. And like, what does it mean to self-record? What does it mean to record in a studio? Like, what is the difference? And so I learned a lot from that. And so by the time I decided to make my second EP, I already kind of had a rhythm. I had like, the momentum going. I knew more of how I wanted my sound to feel to me. I knew what I wanted to say. I knew how I wanted to say it. So it was a little bit of a shorter time gap. And then, of course, as you know, it's the business, the promo, the marketing, the mastering, all the good stuff before you can finally say like, hey, this is a thing.
That's the part nobody talks about and nobody tells you.
I hate it.
Yeah.
I don't like.
Now, what about it don't you like?
So, I mean, let me take that back. I like creating visuals. I like creating the world in which like the lyrics that I wrote live, right? Like I love that part. It's the logistics of like getting the distribution and then like doing the editing and then like making sure to post content on these days and then like trying to solve the algorithm. Like that part, like I just which it's all a part of it. As an independent artist, you are all of the things. And so I think in such a way, like I need to cut my teeth this way. Like I need to be able to know to do all the things. So when I continue to attract the right team for me, I can have that like institutional knowledge of how I kind of know it should look, right? And just kind of letting their expertise lead. But like I'm not like starting from scratch. It's like I'm not just kind of handing everything into someone else's hands. Like I know how it works too. So
that makes sense. Being a music creator and a music educator, I've come across so many people that approach this just with an artist's dream and not thinking from an entrepreneur standpoint. So I guess my question, how often or how well do you feel like you wear the entrepreneur's hat when it comes to your career and craft?
And that's a very, very good question. And I'm happy that you are asking that question, especially to newer independent artists, so that they can also realize that have the dream, have the passion, have the focus, have the grit, but you better know, you better learn the business side of it, and you better know exactly all that comes with that, especially if you're doing it yourself. So how well do I wear the entrepreneur hat? I mean, I know we joked about it earlier, but like I'm still a working professional, so there's only so many hours in the day. So I try my best to be serious about my time management. I tell people all the time, every time I'm saying yes to something, I'm saying no to something else. So I have to make sure whatever that no is, that it's not detrimental to where I want to be and like the time and energy and resources that I can put towards my dream, my passion, which is music. So I think I have a pretty strong balance. I think eventually soon enough, I'll need some extra hands and some extra help. But to my point earlier, I think it's important for me to kind of take myself through this independent artist self boot camp and learn as much as I can by myself, for myself.
Gotcha.
Message.
And you said that the first EP dropped, well, the most recent one dropped in January. Before that, maybe a year and a half. So I guess you're still fairly new as far as in this path. I'm curious, what is your current recording process? or just creative process in general, which includes recording, and how has it changed from the first EP to now, if it has changed at all?
You said the first one you recorded. You said you recorded yourself.
No, I was in a studio for that one, but it was like
Okay.
it was a chance for me to figure out like how to even self record, and so it was kind of cutting my teeth in that way. But that's a really, really good question. So overall, overarching, I can say my creative process unpredictable, all over the place. Like I know that's probably not like what people want to hear, but I will be folding laundry and write a song. I will be loading the dishwasher and write a song. I will be taking a walk and like something will come to me, or it's inspired by a conversation I was having with my mom or a girlfriend or whatever. Right. So like it's very sporadic. I'm not going to hold you, but I also think that is the exciting part about it, because you're just living your life and you can be in a reflective moment. I'm a proud therapy girly. Like I'm on that lady's couch every 2 weeks. Like I love that for me. And so sometimes that breeds, different topics that I can kind of pull from. So it's sporadic, but I think the biggest difference between my first EP, Burning Journals, and this most recent EP, Love and Delusion, is I have a better sense of like, time management and control. So if I'm like, hey, my goal, my KPI for this year is I want to release 3 or 4 singles, right? So take all the ideas in your notes on your phone and in your brain, and like, let's actually make a concerted effort to put those together, sit with it, like feel it, right? And if it's a go, it's a go. And if it's not, it's not. But continuing to make like the creative process an exercise as much as possible every day.
Word. Good stuff. Good stuff. What I'm curious, in everything you just described, what do you find? What flows the most natural, or I don't want to say easy, because I think that gives a false impression of what it takes to do this. But what do you feel flows the most natural as far as with your personality type, skill set, gifting, whatever? And then what do you think are those things that need to get done, but it causes you a little extra strain and mental effort just to get through it?
In reference to the like complete creative process and even like putting the music out and preparing the music to come out, the most natural, organic part of that whole process is the writing and the like melody identification. And, I'm not a piano player, but like, okay, I have these chords in my head, right? Or I have this particular hook or this particular sound or this particular feel in my head. And my disadvantage is that I'm not fluent in an instrument, but my advantage is my voice is my instrument. So I'll sing a voice into my phone, send it to my producer in LA, shout out to Mark Evich, and I'll say, hey, you got it. Like, you play all the instruments. Like, what do you think about this? And then having someone kind of help me create that is the easiest thing in the world. Like, that comes in my sleep, right? I think the hardest part, or maybe the most tedious part for me, is the logistics. So just like this is not a music business anymore. It's a content business. So like, it's the creating the content, and like, to my point earlier, identifying what the algorithm wants. And but also the tricky part is, especially for independent artists who's not a media, a social media like platform expert or whatever, right, or marketer, is not everything that's trending is for you though. And I had to learn that very early on. Like, it's easy to say, well, this is trending and this challenge is trending or whatever. And it's like, cool. But is that in alignment with your brand? Like, is that in alignment with what you want to do? So it's deciphering that. It's, going over contracts sometimes. It's negotiating production deals. It's all of that part that I'm like, wish I had someone do this for me. I could do without it. But again, I still try to stay grateful. Like, my 2 biggest things that I tell people all the time as far as being a successful independent artist: stay hungry, but stay humble. Like, you have to remain coachable. You don't know everything. And as soon as you are walking into rooms where you feel like you do, you're in the wrong room. So that's what I try to live by.
Hey, you might as well just keep your hand on that message.
Right. It's about 2 or 3 of them right there.
She's been dropping nuggets. Man, I'm curious. Well, it's not even a question. It's feedback. So when you described the limitation being playing, an instrument or programming or making a beat or whatever, but the strength being your voice. I'm not sure what music program you use, like when you're just kind of fiddling around with ideas. But one of the things I love, excuse me, you can edit that out. One of the things I love. Yes, leave the part in when I say edit that out and you say no. But no, one of the features I love about Logic Pro, I'm not sure if it's in other DAWs, but they have an audio to MIDI feature and I've done this with a Nashville singer before, where she was trying to sing to me a melody, like something she wanted me to play on the keyboard. Mm-hmm. But I'm not like your producer in LA. I don't do good with someone saying, do it like this. I can't do it. So what I had her do is sing that melody into the microphone. Then I took that audio recording, hit a couple buttons, converted that to a MIDI note that I could assign to a piano or any instrument inside of Logic Pro. So if you ever want to fiddle around, like I can show you how to do that in like 5 minutes, pretty easy.
Teach me something, King. Yeah. I'm gonna hit you up dead ass because I need that.
Please do.
What do you use a DAW?
I do. Logic Pro is my go-to.
Oh, see, you already there. Yeah,
I'm already there. But again,
Czar, you are outnumbered today. Outnumbered.
What do you use?
I use Studio One.
Okay. I ain't never heard of it, but I'm sure it works for you.
It works great for me.
Wait, say that again. I didn't hear you. What did you say?
I've never heard of it, but I'm not in the same circles as y'all, so you gotta take that with a grain of salt. I ain't never heard of a lot of things. So.
I'm teasing Czar. I'm using you to tease Czar.
It's all love.
Yeah, tell me. So, would your producer in LA? Does he also engineer?
He does some engineering. Yeah, he does a lot of the vocal engineering for me, which I think is really dope and impressive because, I mean, I'm obviously not in LA. I'm not even in the same time zone. I love going to LA. But yeah, he does some engineering for me. For my first EP, Brian Opelek, cannot ever pronounce his last name, so sorry, Brian. Soundproof Studios, he did everything from, the recording to the mixing to the mastering to the engineering, which was such a great experience. And I'm so happy. I think my biggest recommendation, like until you get very comfortable even using equipment like that on your own, like any independent artist that is recording their first single, EP, I don't care if it's 3 songs, 7 songs, go to a studio, sit there in the chair and watch the experts do what they do so that you can learn it alongside of them. You may not walk out of that session as a, studio engineer, audio engineer right away, but that was the biggest gift I could give myself, is to just cough up the money, go to a professional studio, work with the professional, learn what you need to learn. Because you're getting the best sound, and then you're also kind of understanding like how to take care of the equipment so you can duplicate that process on your own, which I've been able to do.
Yeah, I was going to ask, so with the mixing, what's your process for approving a mix, or what do you listen on when you're approving a mix?
Yeah, I think, again, kind of the blessing and the curse is that like I've have a more trained technical ear, right? Because I have sat in the chair next to the producers, right? So I can understand like what works, what doesn't, what does clipping mean, right? All that kind of good stuff. But I think what I look for is if I'm getting even if we're in between a rough mix and a final mix, I'll do all the tests. So I have several different headphones. So I'll like listen to the mix in my AirPods, and then my Bose, and then my Beats, and then in the car, and then on my Bose speakers in my living room. And then like I'll listen to it in a few different ways and modalities to make sure that it still feels the same. And so I kind of go off the vibes, I'm not gonna hold you, and make sure that it still feels the same. It still sounds how I want it to sound. And usually by the time I kind of run through those tests, and I'll obviously replay it 20 times because I'm a perfectionist, type A, then I can really identify like, hey, I love it. This part here felt a little too bright, or like this part here, like I want to redo because that didn't give me the same emotion that I felt when I listened to it in the car or whatever. Right. So that's kind of how I approve like a, midway mix or a final mix beforehand. And then I'm never above getting second opinion. So I'll send it to like maybe 1, maybe 2 if I'm really struggling. trusted ears to give me feedback.
I love it. Love that answer. Because as an engineer, we've all had that experience where, you know, an artist is like, oh, there's not enough bass. And you're like, okay. And then, you know, you look at your system and it's like, there is plenty bass. And then you finally get to the question, like, what are you listening on? It's like, oh, my iPhone.
Like, damn. Well, girl, hold on.
Like,
Hold on, girly pop. Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah. Definitely love that answer. Go ahead.
Oh, you mentioned your engineer. I think you said on your first project, Brian and whatever you said the last name was.
Yeah.
Opalek. I'm curious, what was there an audition process that you went through to finally land on him? And if so, like, what was that like trying to find an engineer like your first time out and, you know, maybe not even knowing where to start or how to go about it?
He was actually a recommendation from a close friend. And so that made it very easy. I'm telling you, I'm all about like, you know, not to be all hippy dippy, but like manifestation and like the right people will come to you. You never have to chase. You just kind of like are still and you attract the right people to you. So a recommendation from a really, really good friend, and met up at coffee. Like, you know, again, it's all about the vibe too, because I want to remain coachable, but I want also someone to have that same energy of like coaching, right? Like, this is your first time at this, first time really recording, like for real in a studio, and just having that like sensitivity and patience with me. And then obviously, you know, I don't work with unkind people or disrespectful people or rude people. So you have to just be a good person. Or else if you're not, the vibes are off and then I can't do what I need to do and whatever. So everything just kind of came together. And the same with Mark. Like, that's still the homie. We're still working together. Like, we've got some stuff in the works this summer too. So yeah, that's what I looked for, and it worked. So honestly, I didn't have to audition too many people, which was great.
Hey, that's what's up. That's what's up. And
Perks of being in Nashville.
Hey, I hope that our listeners, especially some of our younger listeners, like college age students, don't sleep on what she just said, like the power of the referral. And it comes back to the power of relationships. Like your name sometimes shows up in rooms before you ever get there. Mm-hmm. So certain doors will open or be closed to you based on your reputation, based on how you treated the last person you work with. You know, I tell my Belmont students that all the time. Is like, nobody wants to work with an a-hole. It's like, if I got two people that are very close in talent and the one who's a little bit better is a jerk, I'm going to go with the other person. I'm like, because they're dope too. And I'm going to enjoy working with them. So I'm definitely glad you kind of spent some time on that.
Mm-hmm.
So between the two EPs, who did you use for distribution? Did you use the same company or did you switch it up on the second one? DistroKid for both of them?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. I'm open to exploring, but nah. I use the same thing.
Yeah. How was that process for you? I guess obviously it went well if you went back to them. Yeah, no, it went well.
I mean, for a newbie, I was like, okay, this is pretty self-explanatory. Like, I have the information that I need. Also really important, you know, when I talk about like, hey, I'll send like a rough draft or a final mix to a very, very small selected group of ears. I mean, like, maybe 3 people, maybe, because it's really important to like have your ish registered. So I don't play about that, right? Like, you have radio promoters and all kind of folks. I'm like, yeah, let me put you on and like do this show with me. And it's like, yeah, no, if it's not registered like with BMI, like I'm not, like I'm good, you know? So also just being, and it's not about being rude or like standoffish or like, you know, secretive or whatever or difficult, but it's like, as an artist, like, this is my sometimes legit, literally like blood, sweat, and tears. This is my passion. And I always move with people having good intentions, but like nothing gets put out anywhere beyond like, you know, of text, an audio file text that is not like approved or registered the BMI. And that's outside of my very, again, small circle of ears. So sorry, not sorry.
It's I have a do you have any questions for us? Like knowing where you are in your journey right now, obviously already having a relationship with Zara, knowing what he does, and just getting to know me today. Are there any questions you would ask us that you think may help you in whatever the next step in your journey is?
That's a really good question. And what an Uno reverser. I love that. So I think the question I would ask for y'all is when it comes to longevity, right? When it comes to sound, we know that sound evolves, but it evolves, but it also there's elements of the 60s and 70s that get sampled always comes back, right? So like it's this vacuum at the end of the day. But the cool part is people are innovative and they could make a sound. They can take a Jimi Hendrix sample and they can pull a Leon Thomas with it, right? So like it's a great creative space and world to be in. But from an engineering standpoint and like what y'all do, what in your opinion is like what with everything evolving as far as music, like what in your opinion creates longevity like in the music industry for an artist?
Oh, wow. That's good.
I'm going to definitely say one is consistency. Definitely. There are some artists who are the same now as they were from day one. We've definitely seen artists who have done a 180 on their brand, on their music. And just sometimes it's not always for the best, but I know you also got to do what you got to do. I've got a friend in LA that I'm also trying to get her on the podcast, but because I want to talk to her about her transition from pop R&B to country, and which is interesting, which kind of sucks for her in a way because she also did this when Beyonce kind of did it too, which I don't want people to, I know her and know that wasn't the case, but I feel like other people, oh, you're doing that because, Beyonce did it. But but definitely being consistent. That definitely relates to longevity to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And kind of going along with that, like it's these, for lack of a better word, intangibles, right? Consistency, authenticity, and I would also add to that adaptability slash is pivotability a word? I don't know if that's a word. It can be. Your ability to pivot. There are artists right now, I would guess, there are definitely businesses that we know for a fact that did not survive COVID. There are also businesses that were birthed during COVID that may not be here if it wasn't for that dynamic, right? You got to be able to pivot. Like if for some reason, like even on your most recent EP, I was listening earlier, and when you say Detroit, I'm like, that's what I was hearing. Like I couldn't put my finger on. I'm like, it has that kind of stacks like soulful Motown type sound. It's like, and even in that, it's like gotta find the balance between being authentic, like how to get the people what they want and what they need, and be true to yourself all at the same time. So just figuring, like how to do all that. Like
that's easier said than done.
Oh, I think very. Like that's really why I'm difficult. Saying it and not doing it.
It's difficult. The only thing I'll add to that is before Burning Journals, like I would always start songs and never finish them. Like I don't think I ever wrote a song from start to finish. And so you start to doubt yourself as a songwriter because a songwriter does what? Write songs like fully. So if I'm saying I love music and I love writing, I love singing, but I can't finish a song, like it makes you kind of plant those seeds of doubt in yourself. The pivot for me is when I stopped, I'm just going to say it, I stopped caring about what I thought other people wanted me to write about. I stopped caring about what I was hearing on the radio and on the top 40 and like the TikTok sounds. Like I just said, I am literally just going to write from life experience. I'm going to create my own little worlds in these 3 to 4 minutes. And if you F with it, you F with it. And if you don't, cool. But like, I don't have to chase fans. I don't have to chase my audience. I will attract my audience. I will attract my fans. Message. And when I shifted that mindset, I mean, 5 songs later was an EP. I mean, QLC was the first song I wrote from Burning Journals. That was supposed to be a single. I wasn't supposed to actually write the rest of an EP. So when I kind of got out of that mind frame of like, what do the people want me to write about? Like, what should I write? Like, nah, like I'm literally going to, if I need to, bare my soul and be super vulnerable, because that is what maybe I need in my life right now. And maybe that can relate to somebody else, but I'm not chasing that. Like, it's up to you. Like, I think about the bodies of work that I have so far, and the ones that are to come in the future, near future, in the future, is like, we're on a safari. I am driving like the little van, and your binoculars and what you choose to pan to is what you choose to pan to. Mm-hmm. Like, you create your experience in this. I am just like guiding you through whatever that looks like for me. So.
Gotcha. All right, so last question here. Measure, how do you define success for yourself as an artist and with this EP?
And that's a good segue, picking back up off of what she was just talking about.
I'm going to be a little repetitive here, and I would say before I thought success was just confined to commercial success and vanity metrics on social media platforms, and can I get signed? Am I gonna get signed one day? Is it gonna be a 360 deal? Is it gonna be an admin deal? Am I gonna be on this show? Like that. And sometimes I still fall into that trap of like, is that like just the pigeonhole of what it takes to be a successful artist? Now that I've grown up a little bit, I would define success for myself and other artists as longevity. I would rather do things right than fast. So if it takes me 5 years compared to someone's 2 years to get like an admin record deal, cool. But like, I stayed true to my sound. I kept my team with me, right? Like, I didn't have to compromise myself to get there. And compromise you can take that a lot of different ways, but I didn't have to compromise myself to get there, because what we understand about what the music industry is right now, a lot of record labels, whether they want to admit it or not, like, they're kind of struggling because a lot of artists don't really necessarily need record labels. They need the money and the capital, maybe, and the marketing. But if I can learn how to self-record and sound treat my office, like, there's millions of other people around the world that can do that too without a record label. So,
yeah.
It's just, you got to do the best you can. Look, what did Mariah say? The best you can, what you got. So, yeah, longevity is how I define success for myself. Will I still be asked to do shows 2, 5, 10, 15 years from now, whether I'm in Nashville or not? That to me is success.
That's what's up.
I'm gonna have to add something new to the soundboard. I'm gonna have to add Family Feud. Good answer. Good answer. Good answer.
That would be dope, bro. That would be fire. Yes, do that. Do that.
All right. Well, we're gonna go ahead and get out of here. Again, Dalona, thank you for joining us. That's a great discussion, and yeah, definitely hope a lot of people learn a lot from this.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's been fun.
Definitely. All right. So, don't forget to rate and review us on Apple Music. No, Apple Podcasts. Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Also, don't forget you can join the discussion for this episode and more on our Facebook group, Faders Up Podcast. And again, all guests and hosts that appear on the show will be in the show notes. All right. I'm Czar.
It's your boy O'Shea.
I'm Dalona.
And we'll catch y'all next episode.
Peace.
Bye, y'all.